In verse 15, the Bible says, he said to them, take care, be on your guard against all covetousness. He's saying, watch out, take care. If make sure you put enough guardrails. The man was concerned about his share, but Jesus wasn't concerned about that. Okay? And because he saw beyond what was being said, that the man had an excessive desire, an inordinate desire to get what he, at least in his mind, he deserved. Okay? And so for us today, all right, Jesus is saying similarly. Okay, what is it that you think for this man? This is something that he desired, something that he wanted, something that in his mind, if I don't get this, then life will be meaningless or I won't feel fulfilled. Okay? And so there are things in our life, in your life and in my life, that God has to check and look at and put his finger on and say, what is it that is an excessive and inordinate desire that you wish you can get? And sometimes when you don't get it, your day is ruined. Your morning is no longer beautiful. Okay? And he says that, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of things. What does he mean? When one's life does not consist. He's saying your life is not equivalent to. Your life is not defined by. Your identity is not attached to. That's what he's saying. One's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. Okay? And this is what Jesus was saying. He was saying when you begin to think of what you have as something that you can live without, then watch out. It might be possessing you rather than you possessing them. When you think that the stuff that you have becomes like air, water, and food for you, then if you begin to think towards that general direction, then that's what it means that life, okay, it consists now of the things that you have. Okay? You can determine if you live that way by determining what you do with the extra that you have. That's what he comes in and talks about in a minute. Ecclesiastes 5:10, the Bible says, he who loves money will not be satisfied with money. He who loves money will not be, there's an aspect of it that is insatiable. You'll never be contented, he says. Okay, this is Solomon, the wealthiest man during his time, King Solomon. And he said this, even if you have a lot of money, it will not bring complete satisfaction. Okay? And so, Pastor Jeff and I were talking to a man, I think Thursday or Friday. His name is Alex. Okay, I'll show you a picture of Alex. Alex is a photographer. Actually, he's a businessman, but he does photo safari. I don't know if you are familiar with that. He calls it photo safari. He goes different parts and different places around the world. He takes photos, okay? And a few months ago, he went to Iceland. And they took a boat like this, okay? Actually, he took this picture. The pictures that he takes, if you look at his Facebook page, the photos are like National Geographic. It's beautiful, all right? And so he would go around different places and takes photos of, oceans and mountains and even action shots of polar bears. This is his actual picture, like National Geographic, okay? Takes actual pictures like these and then, beautiful shots. And so while on the boat that I showed you previously, and previous to these pictures, he said, he spoke to a guy who, also was a photographer who did photo safaris. And he said, this is my goal in life. He said, my goal in life is that, as I accumulate all this money, okay, I really worked hard for them, and truly he did. He's a businessman as well. Is that my goal is to be able to zero out my bank account before I die. To enjoy all my hard work. And again, this is not a bad thing. I mean, he worked hard and he accumulated all that and said, I want to be able to zero them out before I die. Okay. Now here's the thought though. I don't know if he'll be able to zero it out before he dies. Because none of us know when that is. None of us know when the time will stop ticking. We don't know that. Okay? And so Jesus reminds us that life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. All right? He says, be on guard. Take care. You know, it's not wrong to own things. It's when things own you, that's when it becomes a problem.